going to be the challenges coming up in the coming general election?
I think more than anything it's going to be the economy. I think people want to know that they've got a government that's on their side and will help people through what's been the biggest international economic downturn I've ever known in my lifetime. I think here in Thurrock they've got an excellent candidate in Carl Morris, building on the work that Andrew McKinley has achieved. Someone who understands the constituencies, understands their ordinary concerns. Carl's been a councillor here for 22 years, he's worked for Andrew for 18 years. He really gets it, what matters to people in Thurrock. And I think in terms of the economic choices, people want confidence that we are going to get out of recession. Now, the figures at the moment are encouraging, but I think people know as well that there are risks, and I think it would be crazy to start slashing public spending now, as the Conservatives would have us do. There's nothing more clearly guaranteed to send us back into recession.
So what do you think were the key messages or key plus points for Labour after the budget yesterday?
I think a sense of stability, a sense that we're moving in the right direction. In terms of individual policies, I'm really, really pleased with the stamp duty support to first-time buyers. So up to £250,000, people won't pay any stamp duty if they're first-time buyers. That will really help people here in Thurrock, in my constituency in Harlow, who are trying to get their first foot on the housing ladder.
And it's strange though, I listened to Nicky Campbell on Radio 5 just now. What is the main issue of the budget they're discussing? Cider. You can't predict sometimes what's going to come up, can you?
No, you can't. I mean, I think there's been an anomaly in the past in that cider taxation has not been treated in the same way as other alcohol. But look, people know that, we've got to tackle the budget deficit. We've set out very clearly how we plan to do that over 4 years, sensibly, without slashing public spending now, which would pull us back into recession. I think the question the Conservatives have got to answer, they say they want to go quicker. That would be at least £26 billion more public expenditure cuts than we are putting forward. That's half the education budget. It's the equivalent to 5.5% on VAT. It's really about time they started saying clearly and precisely where those cuts or where those tax rises would fall.
Do you look at the regeneration agenda here in Thurrock and you compare it to what's going on in Harlow, different issues there, say North Harlow and the whole issues there?
I do. I think if you go across the country, and I certainly see that in Harlow, one of the things we've really achieved in the last decade or so is regeneration. And in my constituency, we've got a brand new combined sports centre and swimming pool that's opening in a few weeks' time. We've had the south of our town centre redeveloped. We've got significant housing to meet local needs being developed. None of that would have happened without a Labour government and without public support. And I know there are similar regeneration issues here in Thurrock, where again there's been real progress.
There seems to be two types of adversary in a lot of elections. The Tory candidate here is under the radar. The Tory candidate in Harlow is very much opening of an envelope, if Robert wouldn't mind saying that. Which one would you prefer to be fighting against?
Well, I don't mind who I fight against. I think one of the issues, though, and one of the questions for my opponent in Harlow, is the massive funding from Lord Ashcroft and from other business people who have no links with my constituency. I mean, over the last 10 years in Harlow, for every pound I and the Labour Party have been able to spend, my opponent and the Conservative Party have been able to spend £10. I think most people think that that level of funding imbalance is unfair. It's not about personal political activity, it's about being able to buy advertisements in the local newspaper.
And you think with the Gurkhas? You still get on well with the Gurkhas?
Yeah, I do. I was in Afghanistan 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I had a wonderful night, a Gurkha curry night, really good. And what I know as the Minister for the Armed Forces is they do fabulous work on our behalf. They make a huge contribution to our national security, and I think it's right that we can and we do recognise that. Okay.